Hey, what's up, Dean? Same Performance. We're at the shop. It's the end of the day now. I didn't record earlier just because I came in and just started working on stuff. But getting down to the wire. Get it? The wire. um, but starting to really get things kind of looking like stuff's getting done because it constantly looks like nothing gets done. But I mounted the regulator to the inner fender. Like I said, um, I took the plastic inner well out and drilled up, mounted the regulator, put the transducer in it, extended the wire. I used out of one of the screen kits, that thin black wire right there. They come in the screen kits. It's like a 3-wire if you want to do a 5-volt sensor. So I used one of those. And I just connected it over here to the Holly harness. It's somewhere in there. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. But that's crazy. I can't even find it. It's there. Oh, there it is. Right there. So that's the Holly harness, and the plug was just a little bit after that. So I just connected it there, heat shrunk it, ran it across, and then I tore out all the factory fuel lines. So all the metal lines, that heat shield, whatever, fuel filter, that cross brace that just sits under there, doesn't really do anything. So all of that is out, and I gotta put the car up, but there's the return line there. So yesterday I ran all the wires, battery cables, and everything, and then that green right in there is for the fuel pump. The relays, I didn't do those yet, because I started working on the fuel system. And I also tore the exhaust off that he had left on, because this car, he did have a full exhaust on the car. So hold on. So he had this pipe he had cut, that went up to the turbo, came back, and it's that infamous muffler shop, crinkle every bend except back there, which is probably the factory pipe, and then muffler shop miracle pipes again to the big tips on it. So I got that out of the car, and I got to get these hangers that they welded to the body off, but they also like plug welded it right there. So pretty much trying to make it impossible to get that off. I mean, I'm not worried about it if I don't get it off. And then I ran the 10 and the 6, which of course I crossed right in between the solenoid wire, but they're tied to the regulator. They come down, and for now they're just zip tied up to hold them in place so I could take the P-clamps. So I came down the side of the car, over the transmission, in front of the transmission mount, torsion bar mount thing, and that'll keep them from flying back. I'm also going to P-clamp them here to keep them from coming back and touching the drive shaft. And they come down the brake lines, away from everything. And there's a 45 on the 10, which is the filter, and this is a Snake Eater 10 micron filter. So this is my feed, and then I made a little nub piece up to the Y with the 2-8s, which I have to dig through my box over there, and I have a bunch of 8 PTFE that I can make up the 2 lines, but I still have to finish the hat. Got to get all the fittings, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, this is where the factory lines went. So everything's back out, and then the brake line clamps are back in. I also put the hose clamp on the coolant hose right there. It better not be a leak somewhere. I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, so that's on. Still got to do the P-clamp for this wire, which I could do that. I have that P-clamp. Got to move the transmission cooler, which has a P-clamp for the wiring harness, couple P-clamps for the wiring harness, no big deal. But I'll get all that off. Let's see, is there a terminal? It looks like there was a terminal crimped on it. Oh, there is. Okay, so that's the extra wire they pushed through the terminal. Yeah, okay. So we'll get all that off. I ordered the cable to go from the starter up to the ignition box. He didn't quite make it today, but I'm gonna lower the car back down and show you. Okay, so what I've been working on now was the fuse boxes. I found that cover the other day, or whichever one. So I put that on there and went through this one. This one only had the 3 wires, which was fan 1, 2, and 3 right here. Blue, blue, and green is fan 1, 2, and 3. Come on. Give me a break. Yeah, fan 1. Holy moly. Fan 2. So there's fan 1, fan 2, fan 3. So that's what's in the relays. So what I'm thinking, we have 2 fans on the radiator, 1 fan on the transmission cooler. We can trigger the 2 coolant fans with the Holley. The bad thing is it burns up an output. So what I'm thinking is to trigger both fan 1 and 2 with 1 output, so that both fans come on at like 190 or something like that, and then use fan 3 for the transmission cooler. We don't have a trans temp sensor, but I can use it when he does the screen. I can tie it to an output on the screen, or the no, we're doing an expansion module, sorry. On the expansion module, I can tie an output to fan 3, and I can set it to come on like 140 engine coolant temp, or 120, or something around there. That way the transmission fan isn't just key on or something crazy like that. Oh, there's a ground hanging over there too, I think. Yep. So there's another ground I gotta pull up and onto here. So that ground's gotta go on there too. But what I did, these ones here come off of this relay box, and it's starter relay, which is 2 wires, so I have to figure those out. Starter fuse, I got to figure that one out, because this car, the way it works is you turn the ignition, it sends the signal to the body control module, then the body control module goes to the ECU, and then from the ECU goes back, or something like that. It goes from the starter to the ECU. I'm not 100% sure on, but all the computers have to say yes, it's the right key, the right VIN, the right ECU, all that crap, before it sends a signal out to the relay to actually start the car. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground one of these wires, and then the other wire I'm going to just turn the key all the way to start and see which signal it sends. It might send a ground signal, so I'd have to 12 volt one or the other. But I could use the starter fuse to trigger the 12 volt side. So I just have to figure out which way I'm going to go about doing all of that. And then we'll have the start function back. This is a battery wire. That goes to, I didn't mark it. I don't remember. Something. And then this is the PCM ignition, which this wire I'm going to use to trigger the Holly. Then there's those wires there that some of them come up this way and some of them go in the car. So basically the way I do it is, if you look at the ends, I strip all the ends down, and then I take my continuity setting, which is the beepy noise. So it always reads overload. And then when you take, I use an alligator clip that goes on my terminal, and I clip it onto the wires like that, and then I go through the fuse box and I figure out which one's which. I don't remember which one this is. There it is. So it's actually the air pump. It's 2 wires on the air pump. So it's that relay there, which is that relay there. So it's not something we need. So it's a battery function for the air pump, but that wire goes all the way down into this harness. So that makes it difficult. I think, no, it's not any other one. Yeah, it's not any other one. So I just have to figure out where that wire goes in the harness. Same with those purple starter wires. They come to right here is the purple with the white stripe. There's no other purple with a white stripe in here. So it actually doubles right here from a single to a double, and then goes in the car. Well, one goes somewhere and one goes somewhere else, actually. And I don't think, oh, there's another purple there. So it may actually come to this fuse box to keep an ignition signal or something. I don't know. I haven't looked at that yet. I don't see the white stripe on that purple, but anyways. So I gotta figure that out. I may have to pull this harness up somehow, some way, figure it out, because it is not a bulkhead, so the wires do go through the firewall like the Jeff's S10, where it doesn't unscrew and come off. The wires are all glued together and crappy like that. So that makes it a little bit harder, but it might make it a little bit easier, because I might just be able to do a clip and a clip. Who knows? But I'll figure it out. But this is what I depinned, and literally depinned. All of these up here, all 3 of those up top, and then these 2 down here had those pins, and I pulled them out. And then a bunch of the relays, I pulled them out. They're for like the fuel pump. We won't use the fuel pump. AC compressor. One of them was for the air pump. And then injector 2, injector 1. So it's bank 1, bank 2. The ABS ignition, I think I got out. No, I didn't get that one out. And engine control. Yep, I took that one out, which is, I believe it was a battery power to, yeah, I don't know, whatever. One of them. There's so many wires. That might have been another ignition for the ECU, actually. So yeah, so I got to go through, keep figuring. I'm assuming this pink right here is this ABS ignition, because all of those wires came off of this plug right here. So, oh, there's no pink. Alright, so there's no pink. Yeah, there's right there. There's a pink one right there. It's a pretty dirty pink one too. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. what it comes up with. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish trying to pin all these out. These ones here so far go to nothing, so they go inside because there's another fuse panel on the side of the dashboard. Over there's another fuse panel there, so I'll have to extend the wires and do the same thing, continuity from inside the car to out here, and go through all these wires. So I'm gonna do that to finish up but that's where we're at. I know a lot of parts are starting to show up. I know the battery cables are at the house. Oh, we did get the fuel pumps, the Walbro 525s, dual Walbro 525s, and I use these. They come in different lengths, so you have to kind of measure, and you want to give it a little bit extra so you can kind of, you know, hang the pump. You don't want it real tight to hang the pump. I'm also, now that I got the pumps, I'm also going to take, I have it back there. No, there it is. I have a piece of 1/4 inch aluminum plate that I'm going to take and drill 2 holes to slide the pumps up in, and then use it as a hanger for the pumps. I'm going to, you know, build off of it to that top hat piece, and it'll be like, it'll end up looking like this, and then hopefully I'll be able to figure out a way to hang the sending unit. We just keep the factory sending unit. That'll be pretty neat. And then that's that. But getting there. As soon as we get a battery for the car, which we have a battery picked out that'll go in that box, the holder and everything will be here. Like, most of the stuff will be here Sunday. Some of the stuff showed up today. I think a couple of parts show up tomorrow, but only what shows up today I'll have tomorrow, which I know the cable, so I'll be able to run the starter up to the ignition box. So that'll be good. But anyways, appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, leave me a comment. Have a good day.